2018 Impacts and Collisions question 5a. You're given this diagram of spheres A, B and C. Three identical spheres A, B and C, each of mass m, lie in a straight line on a smooth horizontal surface. Spheres A and B are projected towards each other with speeds 5u and 2u, and this is what they're trying to show you in the diagram. A going in that direction, B going in that direction. At the same time, C is projected in the opposite direction or away from B as it's described with a speed of 4u, and the coefficient of restitution between each of the spheres is E. After the collision between A and B, there's a collision between B and C. Find in terms of E and U the speed of each sphere after the first collision. Show E is greater than 5/7, and if E is equal to 6/7, show B will not collide with A again. So we have a 5u and a minus 2u. You know, B is going in this direction, so minus 2u and 5u. Okay, so if we look at the principle of conservation of linear momentum, we're looking at PCM. M1u1 plus M2u2 is equal to M1v1 plus M2v2. They're all M. So we have M by 5u plus M by minus 2u is equal to mv1 plus mv2. So I can cancel my m's in these questions. So I'm looking at 3u is equal to v1 plus v2. Newton's experimental law. v1 minus v2 over u1 minus u2 equals minus e. So we're going to fill it into v1 minus v2 is equal to minus e times u1 minus u2. So v1 minus v2 is what we're trying to find. The speeds after the collision is equal to minus e by 5u minus 2u. So that's going to give me a plus 2u. So we have v1 minus v2 is equal to minus 5eu minus 2eu. So v1 minus v2 is equal to minus 7eu. Now we're asked for it in terms of e and u, so that e and u is going to stay in the answer. We have a negative v2 down here, you can see, and we're bringing down a positive v2. So v1 plus v2 is 3u from up above. Combine these two lines, we get 2v1 is equal to 3u minus 7eu. So v1 is equal to 3u minus 7eu over 2. So you may be able to see what v2 is here, but let's just sub it in and keep it simple. 3u is equal to v1 plus v2 from up here. So 3u minus v1 minus 3u minus 7eu over 2 is equal to v2. Cross multiply and simplify and we'll get v2. So we're going to have 2 by 3u, 6u, minus 1 by 3u minus 7eu. Now there's a minus by a minus here, so it's going to give me a plus 7eu over 2 is equal to v2. So that's going to give me 3u plus 7eu over 2 is equal to v2. Because you can see that if we add them together, the v1 and v2 have to be 3u. So that's why the 7eu and the plus 7eu will have to cancel out, leaving me with 6u over 2. If I add v1 and v2, if I add this one and this one together, I'm going to get 6u over 2, which is the 3u from up above. So that's part 1. Part 2 of this question. Show E is greater than 5/7. Well, this is based on after the collision between A and B, there's a collision between B and C. So the speed of B after the collision has to be greater than the speed of C, otherwise it's not going to catch up with it. So the speed of C is 4u. So V2, which was B, V2 has to be greater than 4u. V2 has to be greater than 4u, so we should be able to simplify this down quite quickly. So 3u plus 7eu over 2 greater than 4u for B to catch up with C. Just multiply both sides by 2. 3u plus 7eu will have to be greater than 8u. Bringing the 3u across, we get 7eu. I can cancel my u's, but 7eu is greater than 5u. So E would have to be greater than, dividing across by 7, 5 over 7. Is that what they asked? 5 over 7. E greater than 5 over 7. E is greater than 5 over 7. And then if E is equal to 6 over 7, show B will not collide with A again. Okay, to show B will not collide with A again, we have to get their speeds. So part 3, we have A and B have collided. Now B is going in that direction, and it's going to catch up with C because we know we've shown that B collides with C. So let's get, we have the speeds. We're told E is equal to 6 over 7. So the speed of B catching up with C is V2. We have the speed of C, which was 4u. So what was V2? 3u. Let's put 6 over 7 in here. 3u plus 7 times 6 over 7 times u divided by 2. This is B. So we're going to get 3u plus 6u over 2, 9u over 2, or 4.5u. So that's the speed of B catching up with C. So we need to get the speeds after they collide. So if we use principles of conservation of momentum first, so this is part 3, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is either m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So we have B and we have C. So we have 4.5m plus 4m is equal to mv1 plus mv2. So we have v1 plus v2 is equal to 8.5m. With Newton's experimental law, we're going to have v1 minus v2. I can bring the u1 up here, u1 minus u2, if we write it like this just for speed. So we're going to have v1 minus v2. We're told E is 6 over 7, and we have u1 and u2, which is 4.5 u minus 4u. So we're going to get v1 minus v2, sorry, 7, I better put a 7 here, just rub this minus out. I'm going to get 7v1, or will I leave it on the right hand side? Actually, I'll leave it on the right hand side. v1 minus v2 is equal to minus 6 over 7 times half u, or u over 2. I think that's probably an easier way to simplify this. So we're going to get v1 minus v2 is equal to minus 3u over 7. Minus 3u over 7. Now, I could call these V3 and V4, but we've set up a new diagram here, so we know what's happening here. We're dealing with B and C. So where are we at? We need to bring this down, solve for V1 and V2, and we need to show there's a connection between these speeds. Why won't A catch up with B? Because it has to be going slower. So let's have a look at, we need to find this velocity for B, which is my V1 in this case, is my B, and my C is my V2. So bringing that down, we have V1 plus V2 is equal to, I wrote M there, should have wrote U. What did I do up here? Even here I wrote my M's, look. U, cancel them out. 8.5U, 8.5U. So we're going to get 2V1 is equal to 8.5u minus 3u over 7. I think maybe just type this into a calculator. So you're going to get 2v1 is equal to 8 and 1/14. And dividing that by 2, we're going to get v1 is equal to 4.035. Okay, let's look at A. A was the reverse of this one, the 3u plus 70u. A was 3u minus 70u over 2. So A is traveling with a speed of 3u minus, just check, minus, it was minus 70u over 2. And E is 6 over 7, so 3u minus 7 times 6 over 7u divided by 2. So we're going to get 3u minus 6u over 2 minus 3u over 2, which is equal to minus 1.5u. So A is going slower than B. Now, we just have to prove this, though. B could hit C and rebound again and be going in the opposite direction and hit A. So we need to show that the velocity of B is still less than the velocity of C. So we need to solve for V2, which is C. So we can use this one here, V1. So V1 plus V2, just write down your B and your C, is equal to 8.5u. So V2 C is 8.5u minus 4.035u. Now I left my u out here again. So V2, the speed of C is going to be, you can see that's going to be greater than 4.035. So it's going to be 4.46, 4.465. Let's just call it 4.46u. So we can say that the velocity of A is less than the velocity of B, which is less than the velocity of C, and therefore no more impacts.